Darren Tuttle here for Ferguson Roof Systems. For 43 years, Ferguson Roof Systems has been protecting Oklahoma's homes and businesses with quality roofing services. Their goal was to be the most honest and dependable roofing company in the state, all while providing free services such as lifetime labor warranty and annual inspections. Well, mission accomplished with thousands of client testimonials, an A+ Better Business Bureau rating, and a 5-star rating on Google. Look, the weather gives you enough to worry about, so why worry about who to trust with your roof? Call Ferguson Roof Systems today or find out more at fergusonroofsystems.com.
Hey there, Meteorologist Darren Tuttle here with you. It's Tuesday, and it's about 9:30, so thanks for joining me. It's been a minute. We've got some interesting weather to talk about, finally. Did a blog the other day, which kind of had a future outlook of what to be expected, and tonight we're going to get a little bit more detail in that. Now that we're getting a little closer into that period, and we'll take a look at the latest model data, and we'll take a look and see how cold it's going to get, if we're going to get any snow, all that kind of stuff. By the way, Rachel and Kyle, I both see you in the house tonight with some stars. Appreciate you guys sending me some, and check on YouTube. I see you guys dancing there. Keith, he's ready for it. Sandy from Chandler's in the house. Jim, still here and not looking forward to next week. Gotcha. We'll get back to some more of your comments here in just a moment. But first, let's go ahead and dive on into what we can expect for the weather. And by the way, if you see this little thing right here, that's the sign that says, stay out of the sun, kids. Because you might get something on your face that the doctor's got to go and cut off and go, tisk, tisk, Aaron. What have I been telling you? All right, anyway, so let's go on to this guy here. All right, so this is the first graphic I've got for you from the National Weather Service. They're just talking about a little bit of snow on Saturday evening, so it's not a big deal. We talked about that in the blog. Christopher, I see in the house. Kimberly, 100 stars for both of you. Thank you very much. So again, the big story for this beginning of the weekend is going to be the cold. They even have the wind chill values here in the single digits or even below zero. We'll take a look at that in a bigger picture across the state. And of course, Sunday as well is going to be very cold into the 30s for daytime highs. So that's kind of a little sneak peek for some of the highlights here for the weekend. Let's talk about the big picture and about how all this is going to come to play. So the big picture of the upper levels of the atmosphere, let me start you off with the jet stream pattern. We'll start you looking at the European model. We're going to go through time here. Got a big ridge anchored here across most of the country, keeping our weather kind of quiet. But that's going to break down. What's going to happen is this little trough right here is going to kick through Friday and Saturday. It's going to drive in our first cold front. Then that's going to be moving off quickly to the east and then over, let's see, there's Saturday. So there's a little weak disturbance here. It's a little bit of energy, a little lift in the atmosphere. That's why we're talking about a little bit of snow for Saturday, but only flurries, probably glorified at most. As that moves on by, of course, if that changes, I'll let you know. It is only Wednesday or Tuesday. As that goes on by and we head into, let's see, what period are we at? Monday, Tuesday, you do see a little system moving into Texas, and you got one moving from Colorado through a little cold area, but otherwise it's not a really big one on the European. It's very poo-poo-ish when it comes to the storm system for next week. Now, it's the only model that's very poo-poo-ish. Other ones are a little bit more gung-ho on some precipitation in the form of some snow or ice or something like that. Now, as we go on to time, it's got another little quick system here for Thursday, the 11th. So it's a very active pattern with a lot of systems potentially coming by to affect us. They just kind of get lined up right, and we got to see if they get strong enough. Now, what is interesting, though, in the European, though, is it breaks down the polar vortex, believe it or not. It sends a chunk of it here across the Great Lakes, and then we kind of get into a southwest flow aloft. Now, what that typically means is that you get cold air that piles in down south, right? And it just kind of sits here. And then you get the overrunning moisture and upper level lift that comes up overriding it, and that's when you get trouble around here. So I'm just saying the extended for next week. It's going to be one of those deals that may have to update, every couple of days or so, because the weather may change a little bit in the forecast as things become more clear, because this is going to be a chaotic pattern to deal with. I'm going to give you a sneak peek on temperatures across the entire country and show you how the cold air is invading from Canada. So pay attention to the purple. You see how it's moving in from the south to the south from Canada. So Canada kind of got a little lucky break here for a lot of this winter, but not so much now. They're going to be in the minus 30s up there, all that white color is. You can see the purple, though, In the blue, extending southward here into the southern parts of the plains. So even in Oklahoma, there's 19 degrees in Oklahoma City Sunday morning, and still minus 30s up into Canada. So we head into time, but look what happens. That cold air just kind of keeps slowly sagging southward. That purple area continues to expand. It's not going anywhere. I mean, my goodness, this is just disgusting, right? This is basically that cold pattern that the models had showing up for the second half of January. About 3 weeks late. It finally came through, but it didn't come through as soon as they thought it would. But that's the way it happens in the wintertime sometimes. Regardless, though, here's a look at the big picture for the entire country as we head into the 12th on Tuesday. Yes, those are single-digit numbers here for overnight lows and morning lows across Oklahoma. Up the road into Kansas, they get below zero, and there's some minus 20s and 30s out here in the eastern slopes of the Rockies, out here western Montana and Wyoming area. So it's just going to be nasty across the country. I'm all the way down into Texas. So that's the big story over the next 10 to 15 days, is just going to be the brutal cold coming on in. All right, so that's a look at how things evolve overall. Now let's get into some specifics for Oklahoma. So the first thing we're going to take a look at is any precipitation. So the first little front that comes in on Thursday, not really going to do much. Thursday night, Thursday morning, there's a few sprinkles that go on by. The cold front's pretty much situated something like this as we head into the 6 a.m. hour. So as we moving through, by the time you get on up and get out the door, so it'll be a windy day on Thursday as a result. Matter of fact, I'm going to show you the wind gust with that. It'll even get a little bit windy tomorrow late in the day. We're going to be in the 30s, 20s to wind gust around 30 for Wednesday afternoon, and it'll pick up overnight. So look at these wind gusts here for Thursday during the early morning hours. There's some peaks up here around 40 or more. And then as we had the front coming in, so here's that front at 8 a.m., you can see where the gust line is. It's already through Oklahoma City. We've got wind gusts up around 50 miles an hour around Ponca City and Enid. So it's just going to be a windy day on Thursday. They'll subside a little bit in the afternoon into the mid-30s, but otherwise just prepare for a not-so-nice day on Thursday. Now, temperatures won't be as cold this first wave, this first front. The secondary front that comes in Friday night, Saturday morning, or actually I think it's been delayed a little bit to later Saturday afternoon and evening, that'll be a much stronger front. All right, so here's a look at how temperatures ought to stack up. So tomorrow's a great day as far as the warmth goes. Here's lunchtime. We're at 58 degrees already. We're going to be into the mid-60s for the afternoon. Here's 3 o'clock. So if you have anything to do outdoors, maybe you want, there's 65 at 4 o'clock. If you want to do some of that preliminary yard work, little landscaping, little preliminary gardening, kind of getting things ready, tomorrow's a great day to do it because you will not want to be outside after that for a long time. So I say take advantage of it. As we do head on into Thursday, here's that cold front coming in. So we'll start you off, for example, here's Thursday morning at 7 a.m. We're 56 degrees. Then we drop to 45 a couple hours later. And then we kind of rebound a little bit, but we kind of hold into the upper 40s during the day. So it will be cold. It just won't be, sub-freezing. Now the wind chill values, I'm just going to skip on into Thursday afternoon. The wind chill values will be into the 30s. So we'll be cold and breezy on Thursday. But again, that's nothing compared to what's coming for the weekend. So let's go ahead and take a look at that. And let's see what we got. And then we're going to jump into the next week's snowstorm or ice storm. Which is it, right? Okay, so let's go into Friday. Let's see. Let's go to Friday, Saturday. There's Saturday morning. We're in the 30s out there across the state. Now, here's where that big front comes in. It's a Saturday evening. So earlier models when I wrote the blog had it coming in, I believe, Saturday morning. So they're a little delayed. Now, when it comes to Arctic air, sometimes it arrives a few hours earlier than models expected. So don't hang your hat on the fact that it doesn't have the Arctic front coming in Oklahoma City until about 4 o'clock in the afternoon. It could easily happen at noon, is what I'm saying. But when it does happen, you're going to feel it. There's a big drop. That's 27 degrees here, 16 in Enid for Saturday afternoon, late afternoon. If you go back just 6 hours, there's noon, for example, we're in the mid-40s. So that's a big drop. And then as we head into Sunday morning, we're 14 degrees here in Oklahoma City. We're 10 in Tulsa, 9 degrees, Ponca City and Bartlesville. Ugh, brutal stuff, right? We do rebound a little bit for the afternoon. Like that Weather Service graphic show, will be in the 30s. So Very cold this upcoming weekend, but we're not done with it. Here's a look at Monday morning. Secondary reinforcing shot of Arctic air comes in. We're in the 20s in Oklahoma City. Single digits to near zero in northwest Oklahoma around Woodward. Monday morning at 6 a.m. Now, we, of course, will rebound during the day a little bit. There's lunchtime. We're in the teens and 20s across the good areas of the state. And then by the afternoon, we do rebound maybe to freezing, if we're lucky. I doubt it, though. We'll probably spend the day below freezing for many of us that have had this cold front move through. All right, so this is what happens as we head into Tuesday night. Look at that, midnight, 15 degrees. And then by Tuesday morning, I should say Monday night into Tuesday morning, we're now down to 8 degrees. Oh, 4 in Enid. We're well below freezing in northwest Oklahoma and in Kansas. -4, -5 up there. That's just some gross stuff, right? Even southern Oklahoma, all the way down to Dallas. The guys are in the freezing point. So this is going to be a big cold front here for the early part of next week. Rebounding 18 degrees to 21. So Tuesday, gross. All right, that's some seriously cold air. Then we get into Wednesday morning, we're back into the teens across the state, so another cold day. Then we head to Wednesday afternoon. We really don't look much better, and then another cold night for Wednesday night and a Thursday morning, and back into the teens and some single digits for Thursday morning. Oh my goodness, look at all this purple on the map. That's Thursday morning. So that's -1 in Ponca City, and that's -3 out here in northwest Oklahoma. Whoa, I see you, Holly, sending me some stars. Got a 2-week streak going. Thank you very much. Christopher and Kimberly, I see you also. Thank you. As we head into the last output of this, we'll get into Friday morning, 6 a.m. And these temperatures, wind chill values, are into the -teens. So the key here is we're going to be a lot of times we're going to be below zero, or it's going to feel like it's below zero out there. We're just going to need those heavy coats. All right, so just keep that in mind. And then now let's talk about whether or not we're going to get any precipitation out of this. Remember how I said the models were kind of differing on the outlook based off the upper levels of how strong those storm systems were. So we'll take a first look here at the European model. For the weekend, it doesn't really have anything. It's got a little bit of light rain, maybe a snow mix there on Saturday across far northern northeast Oklahoma, moving on by. So not much of a signal for this Thursday or Friday period Saturday for any precipitation significant. Now, as we head into Wednesday lunchtime, it does have a little bit of mixture of some freezing rain and regular rain down in the southern third of the state. As we head into the afternoon, that quickly moves off, so it's not a big deal maker there. Secondary system comes in behind its heels on Thursday, early morning. Same area, kind of a mixture of freezing rain, maybe a little bit of snow, a little rain, and that moves on by. Again, not a very significant deal. Looks like a little bit of snow is going to try to bring in during the day on Friday of next week, the 12th, February the 12th, the following week, I should say. Okay, because not this Friday. All right, now that's just the European model. It doesn't mean it's right. I'm just saying that's one of the solutions out there. Now we're going to go to the American model, and we're going to see what it has up its sleeve for that same time period. It's going to be a little different. Okay, so for example, on Sunday, it actually has a little few snow flurries up there in northeast Oklahoma. So that's a little bit different. As we head into next week, though, it's got that light precipitation as we head into Tuesday, early morning. It's got a little bit of a light touch of some freezing rain, freezing drizzle here in northern and central Oklahoma. But mostly northern into Kansas by Tuesday afternoon. So there's kind of where the trouble zone would be. And this is still early look at the data. It's likely to change as far as placement and intensity. Plus, we have to actually, make sure this model is correct, which isn't quite, confident. Factor is a little low at this point. It'll get better as we get closer to the event, though we're still a week out. But there's a look at the heavier precipitation starting to develop Tuesday night into Wednesday morning. And then there's a good round there for Wednesday afternoon. That's heavy snow moving into central Oklahoma around lunchtime on Wednesday. That moves out. Another quick moving system drops some light snow or flurries on Thursday. And then there's another quick one there on Friday. So remember what I told you at the beginning of this broadcast? There's a lot of quick moving systems coming by. And each one has the potential to do at least a little bit of something. So that's what this model is kind of hinting at. It's keeping us active. And there's another one long term. There's February the 16th. On into the 17th. That one looks nasty too. That's a big mixture of freezing rain, sleet, and snow across the state for the 17th. Now, that is way out there. So the odds of that panning out obviously are much lower. Very little skill, but it's out there. It's a signal to watch to see if it sticks around in the data. as we go forth and prosper. All right, I'm going to show you one more run. This will be the Canadian model, and we'll see how it looks for the Oklahoma region for next week, just so you can get an idea of how much chaos right now is in the output and how things still aren't very certain one way or the other. All right, and I'd love to give you a solid answer, on this extended for that Monday through Friday time period next week, and it's just not going to happen tonight. All right, so there's a little bit of snow in northern Oklahoma on Sunday morning, so that was similar to the GFS model, the American model. So a little bit of light dusting of snow. Now the European was a little earlier than that. Remember that? I think it was late Saturday, and not much to write home about. So this is at least a little better. So we'll see what happens with that. Another little skirmish on Monday morning, and then as we head into next week, it's not very excited about the system south of us. It doesn't really do much of anything. It's got a little bit of rain late next Friday. I mean, this is a big poo-poo for the whole thing. So it's not excited at all. So the European and the Canadian are not aligned. They're not quite polar opposites, but they're not anywhere close. The American is out in left field. So it's either going to hit a home run or it's going to eat it. Now let's take a look at the Canadian itself. Remember, I was looking at the one we call a control run. Now let's look at all of its ensembles. In other words, you can nudge the model different directions, and we'll see how many of its panels actually have something. Now this one does. Okay, so we'll go here. So here's panel 1, so it's bone dry. Panel 2, look at that, not bad. Let's turn it off. And then there's the third panel, it's got something. Fourth panel, no, not really. Fifth panel, it does. Or this actually enabled 1, 2, 3, and 4. There's one on the right side. It's got just maybe a hint of something. There's one, not one. There's something that's all rain. There's something that's all rain. There's something that's all rain. There's one that's kind of like a little bit of a mix, and then way down here at the bottom, a little bit of a mix. So it does have some of its ensemble runs suggesting a winter storm, whereas what we saw earlier, it was bone dry for the whole event. So this is a good thing to see that its control run is wrong, and it's going to start to shift toward the other models, at least in some light version of itself. Now here's a look at the American model, the ensemble version of it, just on a plot here that we can look at on line scale. Now it does have a few snow flurry action, with this first system coming in for the weekend, like I said, but it's not really significant. Once we head into the extended, though, these numbers right here skyrocket. So that's 4 inches, 6 inches. This is right at the end of the forecast period. There's 1.5 inches. So what it's trying to say is for the end of the 9th into the to the 10th, the morning of the 10th, that's where we're going to get the best chance of seeing some snow with that next system. Temperatures, meanwhile, if we take a look at the American model, it just gets stupid cold for Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. This is Oklahoma City, and it's got us for highs in the low 20s and lows in the teens. Is this on the table? Sure. It's Arctic air. It's nasty. You saw what was going up in Canada. It's been sitting around here for a while, so reinforcing shots coming in, so it's definitely on the table. These little streaks down here are snow, so it's got about 2 to 3 to 4 inches of snow on its control run for next week. So looks like next week is going to be quite interesting around Oklahoma. Now that was the American model. Again, until then, temperatures will slowly dip down. It's obviously with you factoring the wind, it's going to feel a little worse than what's shown as far as the actual temperatures go. So you're still going to wear a jacket or a coat for the next few days, and then a really heavy coat for next week. So here's the European model, and it's not as bullish on the idea of the coldest of the cold. Except for in the morning, it's got some cold readings. But the afternoon, it allows it to warm up a bit. So one of these models is going to be wrong. I can't tell you which one, but you can see they're at least telling you the similar story, which is it's going to get cold. So that'll be our story for tonight. It's going to get cold. So hope you guys get ready for it. Leslie, I see you with 100 stars and 2-week streak. Thank you. Kelly, I see you. Thank you. Doug, I see you with 50 stars. Appreciate you guys that tonight. Lisa and Amber and Angela all showing up. I see you ladies. And Holly, I think I got you earlier. So thanks as always for sending me some love, some Facebook love. What we'll do is we'll do some more updates now as things are getting a little bit more interesting to talk about here for the next several nights. So expect a few more Facebook Live interactions. All right, let's do a quick look at your questions. I'm going to turn you loose because I think pretty much covered everything I want to say. Sam, yeah, I saw that, the actual wind chill, not the wind chill, not the actual temperature. Gotcha. Let's see. But thanks for you guys for tuning in on YouTube. If you guys had any questions on the Twitter Periscope, if you wanted to ask anything, is that working? Let me check that again. Hit the old live. There it is. If you have any questions, shoot them real quick. I'll try to answer it for you. My patrons. Let's see. Dry's in the house. Thanks as always for your support, my brother. Larry, he's going to break out the shorts for tomorrow, of course, unless he wants to join the Polar Bear Club next week. Jennifer, hey there, Karen. Didn't get a notification. Yeah, Facebook gave me some fits on my broadcast. I don't know. They keep changing their API, which is my interface with my program, my software programs to go live, and they're very difficult to get a hold of, obviously. So I don't know. We'll see what we can do. Let's see. Now to go to the main page and look at the comments there. Let's see. Pause that. I can only scroll up and see the last few, but we'll take a look. Brad wants to know if it's going to be windy on Saturday. You betcha. I'll show you that here in a second. There was so much to talk about tonight. I was like, how many maps can I show you before you fall asleep or change the channel, right? But I'll jump on that here real quick. Becca says, I feel like I'm a meteorologist school every time I watch your lives. That's awesome. That's good. Jolynn, your comment has been hidden. Oh boy, now I know why. Yeah, I got a strong filter on here, so if you guys use any words that are remotely close to a curse word, your comment won't be seen. It gets hidden immediately. Starting Thursday evening, let's see, what else we got? Some of you are not digging this cold weather. I don't blame you. Let's see. But man, I'm telling you, enjoy tomorrow. That's the only I can tell you. Just live it up. Live it up to get your last day of 2021. Yeah, winter's far from over. I heard that 19th century rodent that we all celebrate for some reason, it still boggles my mind, saw his shadow, so that means we got more winter coming. So Saturday in a nutshell. Everybody wants to know Saturday real quick. All right, we'll jump back in on Saturday. Brennan says he knows something big's coming. He's ready for it. I hear you. All right, so let's do. Yeah, so the cold front will make it all the way down to Dallas-Fort Worth. You guys obviously won't be as cold as we are here in Oklahoma, but you're still going to get cold. It's just, it's pretty far away, so you guys don't always get the good front frontal stuff that we get here. All right, let me go to, where am I going? Let's do this. All right, so the question was about Saturday. So let's show you Saturday, both in the wind and everything else. So, and Saturday is a transition day. Let's see. All right. Is this going to go out far enough? Oh, it will not. All right, we'll use the European for this for now. So Saturday morning, all right, so there's Saturday morning right here, 6 a.m. I'd get my time right. So we're in the typical cold, chilly morning, 30s and 40s, right? We warm up to 50 or so, some 40s maybe up north. Then a cold blue norther comes in, and it hits Oklahoma City for the afternoon, and it drops temperatures like a rock, especially up in northern Oklahoma. And then Saturday evening to midnight, we're back into the 20-degree range here over central and western Oklahoma. Now, this front could come in a few hours earlier. This is only, early in the game here in the forecast period, so it's quite a ways out there as far as exact timing goes. But look for it to come through Saturday afternoon across northern and central Oklahoma. Now, let's take a look at the winds, because that was a big question also. How are the winds going to do that day? And I'll show you the wind speeds and the direction. So let's see. Sustained winds aren't too bad here. They're about 18 knots. Let me go to the wind gusts. That's sometimes where the action is. Well, that's ridiculous. It's got wind gusts up around 50 miles an hour. That's quite a big difference from a sustained wind of 15 knots. So I would have to assume the model is in error a little bit on the wind gusts. I usually don't use the European for wind gusts, so it's more of a short-term model idea. But regardless, it does show that we have potential to have some gusty winds at times. Now, wind gust is like a literal 3-second deal. It's not a. It's going to be 30 minutes of 50-mile-per-hour winds. That is not how that works. So just so you know, it's just you hear those big whoosh, and then it's gone. That's kind of how you deal with these. Now, the wind chill value when that front does come in with those winds on Saturday, we'll drop it down into the mid-20s to teens is what it'll feel like behind that front when it comes in the afternoon. So keep that in mind. All right, and then actual air temperatures back on Sunday morning, it'll be pretty cold. We were looking at 19 degrees here in central Oklahoma, and 20s all the way down to Dallas-Fort Worth, so pretty chilly. All right, so that was your quick recap there for your Saturday, and like I said, probably some passing snowflakes or light snow on Sunday, especially across the northern parts of Oklahoma. And otherwise, it kind of gets progressively colder, and then we start to focus on what kind of monkey business may happen next week with a few different waves coming through of precipitation. Some may be very light, some may be a little heavier. Models are all over the place right now, so when they settle down, we'll have a better idea. Listen, as always, I want to thank you guys for watching tonight. Philip, by the way, I see you sneaking in there at the last minute with some stars. Deborah as well, thank you very much, ma'am. So that's going to do it here for me for tonight. We will talk again soon. And thanks for liking and supporting AT's Weather. If you don't have it, check out my weather app. It's free. It's called AT's Weather to Go. You can follow me on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube. I now have a new Gab account. You can follow me there as well. I got my blog. You can read about it, how to access it. And I think that's about it. I did post a link to my diet guide below this on my Facebook page. So if you want to drop a few pounds or get in better health as you head into your spring and summer, just type the word diet in that comment section. I'll send you a link to get the guide. I'm trying to think of anything else. I think that's it for now. I'm sure I'm forgetting something. But we will talk again soon. Good night, everybody. Sleep well. See you later.